rainwater harvesting system. Okay? We're not talking about just putting a tank down the side of your house. First week you have a tank down the side of your house, you fill your kettle and you feel good about it, and then the novelty wears off and you just have this thing that's taking up space in the side of your house. Okay? You need to have a fully automated system that is seamless. You flush the toilet, you use the rainwater. Simple. You wash your clothes, you're using rainwater. Again, there's no need for any processing at all. And again, the health department allows you to use your rainwater through your utilities such as toilets, laundries, and what they call general cleaning. So it could be outdoor taps as long as it's marked rainwater in use, and then you can obviously use that for reticulation, for washing your cars, for doing whatever you want to do, topping up your pool, all that kind of stuff. Now, you can go whole of house, and we have done a number of installations where we've gone whole of house, but that obviously requires processing like UV treatment, etc., which comes at a cost, but it's certainly feasible and can be done. Right, this is where we get to the part about how much rainwater actually falls on our roof. It's a very, very simple calculation. You get 1 litre per square metre per millimetre of rain. Simple calculation. So you figure out, think about your home. You've got a home that's 20 metres long by 10 metres wide. You've got 200 square metres of roof, roughly. Okay, we'll get to the numbers in a second. So that's 200 square metres. Again, I'm just taking that as an average. I think our WO homes actually have got larger roof areas than most eastern states homes. But let's work on 200 square metres. If you work on Perth rainfall, that's 170,000 litres of clean, beautiful water that hasn't had to have been pumped from wherever, falling on your roof, going down the drain. Okay. Average laundries in a domestic home uses about 30,000 litres per annum. Average for toilets, about 30,000 litres per annum as well. These figures are all on the ARID website, so if you want to have a look at the ARID website, it's an association of a group of industry people who are involved in water conservation, etc. General cleaning, which is the outdoor taps for washing cars, a bit of retic, whatever the case is, can generally work out about 600 litres per hour. It's about 60,000 litres if you're working on 2 hours a week using those utilities. So even if you don't have a treatment system, basically what we're saying is that you could use, there's enough rainfall to service all of those for at least 8 or 9 months as a minimum of the year. I'm talking about Perth specifically. This is where it gets interesting. If you look at Perth, obviously we haven't had any rain in January, February or March so far, okay? So but generally you get just about nothing. So those are the 3 months that I tell you, forget about using rainwater. That's when you talk to Sam about grey water and use your grey water to do your reticulation in your lawns and gardens. Again, without any need of processing or being fancy about it, okay? What we're talking about is the months thereafter, okay? We start April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. You still got 20 odd mil of rain and you work out the square meterage of your roof. You can do the math. You're going to have at least 1,000 toilet flushes left in your tank by the end of November. Okay? So I'm saying to you, it's a minimum of 8, but possibly 9 or even 10 months, depending on the amount of storage you have, depending upon your roof space as well. The thing is that in winter, we still wash our clothes, we still flush the toilets. Why would you use scheme water? The rain's falling, use the rainwater. In summer, it's as dry as anything, you use up whatever rainwater you have left in your water tank, but then you've got your grey water system, which will then take over for your reticulation side. Okay? So forget about the myth about, I need a rainwater tank when it's dry and there's no rain and there's going to be bugger all water in my rainwater tank. But you're still flushing your toilets and you're still washing your clothes throughout the whole of winter. Still using your outdoor taps. Okay? So there is that true, real saving of water. And again, for us, financially, it might not make sense, but at the end of the day, it's going to be legislation driven. And if you talk about carbon footprint and energy consumption, the water authority in any capital city in the world is the highest energy consumer in that city. because they've got to pump that damn water all the way to each dwelling and then pump it all the way out in the sewage and all the rest of it. So if we can actually reduce that cost, although it won't be a reduction to the homeowner, but in a macro sense, it's a massive saving on energy. Just by not having to transport that 170,000 litres of water from wherever to your property. It's on your property already, it's there. Alright, so just to go back to the basics about the tanks in general, you need a tank to store this rainwater that we're harvesting. And at Omni Manufacturing, as I said to you earlier, we developed the first slimline tank in Australia. All our tanks are made in our plant in Henderson. The majority of our tanks, urban tanks, being slimline tanks, and underground tanks are obviously being shipped back to the eastern seaboard, because that's obviously the biggest market. But obviously there's quite a good uptake in WA, and a lot of people are moving towards rainwater harvesting systems, although it's not legislated. Okay, so we do slimline tanks and round rural type tanks, all food grade polyethylene, FDA approved, fully UV stable, made to the new Australian tank standards, which is the ASNZ 4766. We've got a 3,000 square metre facility with 3 state-of-the-art rotational moulding machines. We have a staff of about 25, so we have a reasonable production output, and obviously all our products are warranted 10 years for the above grounds and 15 years for the underground tanks. Again, any size of tank, the tanks can be interlinked. We have a novel product, which is this 1100 litre, which is a mini slim. It's only 575 millimetres wide, but the beauty about it, it's only 1.2 metres tall. So with a lot of these tight, small dwellings where you don't have a lot of wall space,